Good morning once more. Good morning once more. Brace up. Good morning, Africa. Those in the diaspora. Brace up. And until you confused, me confused, the world confused, or then just to use lies there for confuse we all. They don't say, you know. And first topic today they can start with now with the UFOs them. And then we go jump into religion about heaven and hell. But before I start this again, I go ask me questions still. You know, or I started yesterday. If they lie to you about religion, what's he gonna go lie to you about? If they lie to you about the UFOs, them, what's he gonna go lie about? And one thing I want to point out before I start this topic, the creation of religion, not to say that for cause harm or anything bad for man. I want to make sure we understand these facts before we continue. The creation of religion. The world be so evil that there be need for create a group where go help for reduce this evil way they take place in the world. And the best countermeasure what man be need for created, now be religion, for beginning to put fear upon man, for beginning to make the man they think and reason, you know, and not come out from any divine source, the creation of religion, but the divine source then gets what we call, again I want to use the word religion inside of you, then burn you with religion. Your old being, your spirit, it deal with religion. And what are the try for state is that it deal with religion. Your old being know what's in a good and bad. Now when they talk of religion, your entire being know what's in a good and bad. But let me continue and start first with this UFO talk here. You know? And before I start, I just want to give you a small picture here I think they will go see. You know? This is a round circle. I don't know if some of you they see that there. This round circle here. Now just a small picture what we create. In the 40s, 50s, 60s. When I see this circle or all the films they don't create, the first concept you go can you eat, it's in a UFOs. Even people there, but they see them things they are in the early 40s, in the early 70s, 80s, 90s or whatsoever. And scientists them, or the military, or the US, or people that where they are above with for make statements on the issues there, they say now contents that will come out from out of space. Not to man-made. Not to man-made. Now let me continue. Before again I elaborate and start for giving my own facts them, the new concept of UFO, some of you now don't see this it. The new concept of UFOs. This is now a box, a cube. Now a cube with a round circle around it. And they say what this tier or this plane or this UFO, the maneuver, this box here, they turn. But this shape, and then they move. But this box and this shape, they allow this plane here, they allow this plane from moving any direction, anyway, I want maneuver. And also, you know, a fast. It can just disappear in a minute or in a second. It can snap, now the air or space, you know, move around, maneuver, and then just disappear. And then gets pictorial evidence for America Air Force pilots them, then capture this image. And some of them, while they do an investigation, you know, you can see they lie whether they lie, because person they talk the truth. If you're not an investigator or you know how to deal with criminals, them, you go tell what person they lie. Then claims say this not so a natural source or man-made. And this now recent interviews them. Now something will come up from out of space. They try for create a confusion, but they know what's not the issue. But then no one come out for tell you the truth, because they don't tell whether they fool you. So they just want to make one day lay people and where they investigate this concept, finally hits the nail, you know, or the thing maybe could just expose itself, or maybe not small picking one go can't expose this to now. Because the big one there, the scientists there, the doctors there, or whatsoever, you know, nobody no able to think it logically. All this sense money. All this sense money. And this UFO, before we continue, then starts out with a demonomy. Then starts out with supersonic. When I don't know what's now supersonic. Supersonic now some of the fastest, you know, race crafts they would create. Even video games they're about supersonic. You know? Just too fast. You know? Faster than the speed of sounds. Or the speed of light. Now let we continue. This same concept they use by drag race. Drag race. Whether they overseas or inside Europe, when I know it's not drag race. You know? How fast this vehicle can go. How fast a certain vehicle can go. Or even a motorbike. We don't see them things there. All this now a test factor or a test case whether they use for try to upgrade their machines there. Not so for land, but for air. For air and also for the water. Now a test case. They create certain things there, drag race, you know. And then also, one thing I make clear understand, they enrich themselves by this process. They enrich themselves by this process, and I go explain why. And this all aircraft, I make clear know say, the concept of this shape here, this cube shape here, and this circle, it's all about gravity. I don't know in depth of how scientists and they calculate gravity, but I can tell you say it's all about gravity. Now in this way I define the logic behind gravity, what people are they try for accomplish. Because I believe say they don't identify them, but they try for accomplish. Now let me continue. From when you small, from kindergarten, like open una ace una yard then quick, you know. One thing they begin to teach you, where you forget today, but you know it's in a part of life. How for solve puzzles them. From where you begin go school or kindergarten, the first things they begin to show you, how for solve puzzles them. How for put shapes them together. How for coordinate things them. And when I go think say puzzle, na kalo thing. Up to now, then get great, you know, puzzle games the way they create. Only for the smart. But not all man can participate or play them kind of games there. You know? Only few. Now you make now the world, when I go think now all man smart. Now lie. There's a difference. God make different people with different, you know, psyche. They cognitive, they play in different way than the normal person or that person who not too smart. The cognitive. Now let we continue. So from kindergarten, you don't solve puzzles still. You know? And I didn't really find out who are the smartest kid. You know? And now they're able to identify the difference. The difference with the full man name and the smart one name. And before I continue, let not forget this. You know? This concept of this UFO, but a few years ago also, we get Farrakhan. Farrakhan was a black leader. Now the diaspora, now a Muslim. And one man this way they talk, all man they listen. Mr. Farrakhan. He also we don't discuss more of the UFO attributes there. There was an episode also we said they watch, I they follow up a few years ago. Where even a white guy come up, he said this UFO, you know, physically, where they land, and the object will come up at this UFO. Now a black source, a black individual, but the face is just designed in a different way, but some black and tall, but you not see them clearly. Clearly, they see them black and tall, very taller than the normal humans. With Farrakhan, he used this as a prophecy. With Farrakhan, he used this as a prophecy. Because if don't preach of, you know, maybe the divine sources there, or the blacks then one day, we say they go come out for sure say we blacks we divine. You know? And people then bet by this in concepts. So one thing I go tell you about life, it's all about concepts for lead people in. You get the right concept or the right ideology for lead people in believe, you go continue for lead them till doom. Man, as long as you continue for telling what's the 1 year, they go follow you to death. They go follow you to death. So far I can, they don't make a prediction of the UFOs there. But again, to me, now a false prophecy. False prophecy. Now let we continue. Let we continue. About the lies about the UFOs there. You know, to me, I'm able to identify or define the UFOs there. To Tasmo, I drink first with coffee. I go identify the UFOs there as unfriendly operations. Unfriendly operations. You know, UFOs, to me now, unfriendly operations. They call them UFOs, but not Tasmo lives in your own time, Dandy. Since again the early 1940s, now we begin hits the nail. They don't tell you lie again about 10 UFOs there. They don't make movies them about 10 UFOs there. They don't make toys them about 10 UFOs there. Or even characters them about 10 UFOs there. Don't make boku money per 10 UFOs there. Same thing with religion. They don't make so much money per religion. Because man just to go with the flow. Man no one solve the puzzle. You no one solve the puzzle. You just like for your read things then, but you never ever get interest for solve the puzzle. You know, they talk of the mystery of the UFOs there. You know, the alien characters there. You know, example of the movies them. Example now, the Terminator. The Terminator. Now a UFO concept. District 9, a movie where they act in South Africa. You know, about first and second class citizen. When an alien system. You know? Now a UFO ideology. You know? Bird Box, 2018. A UFO concept. The Cloverfield, you know, paradox in 2018. This now how the monsters they landed in the earth. How monsters then come on space can land on earth. All this now UFO attributes them what they don't create. You know? Starship. What I don't watch Starship. You know, they don't say this, you know, episodes there they come out. You know? Since 1997, Starship. Now UFO concepts. All this for continue for deter you mind and for fool you, or for maybe they think say the coming of 19 they are they come. Let me repeat this word again. The coming of 19 they are the aliens then they go come to earth. The same way when they say the coming of Jesus Christ, they will come back to earth. Logic, the coming of the aliens or the coming of Christ. Because much a man, no one solved the puzzle. You know? But that film there, you will see them get space marines them for go fetch all the aliens there. You know? We don't see it. Now let me continue. I got to talk small, full of proof, evidence, and factual information or details. So now we'll get some. Now, we'll get splendid, what they call stealth, with the S-T-E-A-L-T-H. Let me repeat this again. If you get pen and paper, write and down and do an investigation. They get splendid, they want to not begin to advertise it, but now they don't begin to talk of them. Because why? War then starts for event sent in the Air Force. Now be a secret. Now be a secret. Nobody not be know of that. And now what are them? What they talk of? The United States. What the United States begin create their stealth, S-T-E-A-L-T, aircrafts there. Now be a underground business so personal for now. Like a CIA business. Nobody know for no. But they don't create, they don't advance, and they don't begin to notice say other countries they don't begin to create some things there. And other countries they back don't begin to create some things there. And the other countries that don't become their creation and they look more powerful than their own creation. And this don't create a panic. And the panic what these issues don't create, now the white man ready for expose the truth. But they never come out with the ideology of UFOs then once and say the thing that they make, you know, now we be the talks in UFOs them or not to UFOs them. I will make you now understand. You know? So let me hit the nail. In 1970, the US created what we call a SR-71. When I write this down, a black bird, made by the US. this now be a stealth plane or aircraft. Now be the fastest aircraft made by man. They come up from one place to another place quicker. Now be 3 times the sound. There'll be 3 times the speed of sound. 3 times the speed of sound. Not to be a funny plane. You know, then we create a Concorde where they use as commercial European system. You know, when I know of the Concorde will be the fastest, commercial plane. But they need for all time, because in speed it be too fearful and it crash. So now we continue. So then gets this Blackbird, the SR-71, where they create, and also then in the radar business not be too advanced it. So not to all radar they be able to detect this here where they fly in different countries them, or where they pass. And they pass and go and come back. Maybe they reach Africa and go back in the US in less than a few hours. With the regular plane, maybe it will take 2 days. But with this plane here, inside an hour. Now, let me continue. And this plane, they make carefully avoid reflecting radar's signal. Then they be creating for. Now be the foundation of UFOs than this. I believe say previous machines them of them UFOs there. They get something previous than this. Maybe something way similar to the circle itself, what they describe just now. Will be fast, but not be too fast. But now this then starts for disseminate or make sure the public become aware of. Now let me continue. And the speed again, like emphasize on the speed. Now survivability. That's what I take time. Survivability. The speed of this aircraft. Survivability. Meaning, government first for survive, you always jump out. They dress you like in a space, maybe they go, like in a moon they go. The speed is so fast that you the motor man. Now God don't go see you go make and go and come back. If the aid not on. So let me continue. And one thing I will advertise, let me get this back down our aid. Speed now the key to air combat. Speed now the key to air combat. Since they don't begin to fool on about saying UFOs, they are say then fast, then just a map and disappear. We don't know side they go, side and come out, do not get any trace. I go make una understand. But speed now the key to air combat. For be more successful. And then still aircraft there, they come in 2 different colors then. Whether not gray or black. So all the years there, they don't tell us say they see black images them or gray images them from space. But it's not the content where they create. Because of them colors they are able for deter any radar, detection. For me, they reflect to any radar system. Now, let me continue. Certain radar bands them, not able to detect them planes there. Even up to now. But with a larger or a wider revealance, what they talk of something with a revealance. With the larger or a wider revealance, of them radars there, you'll be able to catch a signal of the aircraft where they pass every day. So what will they try to say by this statement? If the aircraft they pass right now, and we get some normal radar, you need to see them. You need to be able to catch them. You got to get something with a wider range, or something where they able to catch, the aircraft where they reveal them, for they able to capture a signal or a dot of them. Even the eye itself, they able to see them. They're not too transparent. The way they make them. And like chameleons, them, if they're able, disguise. So now certain thing they are there. Now let me continue. What the American man they don't make this one here? What see whose countries and get we take step for make the other one? We're gonna become more powerful. Now they Germany, Italy, and the UK, London or England, they put hands together, they contribute for make something super, than what's in the American man they don't create. Germany, Italy, and the UK. So what's then creates? Then call on the Typhoon. Then create a plane we name the Typhoon. And the Typhoon then described as the aircraft, Listen, the aircraft there, it must not be, the aircraft not for be large or small. Not for be large or small. The sound of the aircraft there not for be loud either. The engine not for be moderated. So even when they take off, person will know say a plane take off. And the most important thing about saying aircraft here, again, the flexibility to maneuver. When I listen to this again, now the point is in this. The flexibility to maneuver. Whoa, a plane they able to tilt, that's what they call them. Where they able to map some side, now the air or space, they map the still and just disappear. Or they map so, it goes so, it goes so, it goes so, it goes so, and disappear. Now what's in then at this world what God creates, we get this tilt, pattern. It's so easy. All to what man they create and what man copy from the divine source system. And I want to one on like in the morning me every day. Now fly. Then fly the air under the sea. Now the most powerful, thing we're able for maneuver in space or in the air. Fly. Flying are the only thing able to stay still, go so, maneuver in any kind of way. So I believe say the white man, don't they study this creature for a very long time, for try for copy, then patterns there. But not to just fly. I believe say other things can do. But I don't show also now the box of what they can use for try for understand gravity. For try for understand gravity. So then create what they call a typhoon. And then plane there, the most important thing, the flexibility for maneuver. Not a plane wouldn't just make for continue for move. If I move and just stop. It stop and get what the information what you need. Because again I enforce on this, I not state this earlier. They make them for spy. They call them spy plane system. They make them spy now for spy then therefore. The first intention what the American man then begets for the plane what they create under the SR-71 Blackbird. Now for go spy on Russia. Now for go spy on China. Now that's be the main intention. Them planes they are therefore fast enough, therefore able for maneuver in the air, stay still, get the information, and return back safely without being noticed. Now spy planes them. But they don't part of not being spy planes then they will become a tool of war. They will become a tool of war. So not forget the most significant part, the importance, the important aspect out of all, now forget the flexibility for maneuver in the air. Now let me continue. The US creates back another one, what they call it F-22, for surpass what's in Italy, Germany, or whatsoever they don't make. But this one here, they get 2 engine. It be too loud. So they still keep on, but they need to make something we go succeed within Germany and Italy and Europe they don't make. Or UK they don't make. So they come up with what we then call the F-35. The F-35. And this now the 4th stealth aircraft what they don't create. The 4th one. One of F-35s. Operated by the US. And this, it costs less. It costs less than the F-22. In the F-22, they get similarity. Now, before I continue, this F-35 wouldn't create. Now, just a duplicate or the same pattern of what's in the Germans they make. What's in the Italians and the Germans to make the SR-71. Now, for the one I know, say, the white one and a copycat them. When you make some too advanced past them, or the concept, they think say this, a viable, they go take the concept and go create something better than that. So then go create the F-35. It's almost similar to the SR-70, not to the SR-71, but almost similar to what's in the Germans then create. And I want to make sure say I give you the right creation of the Germans again before we continue. I be get the documents there with me just now. The F-37, the F-35. The F-35. What's in the Germans there and the Italians they make. So now let me continue. Not to the F-35, but again, the information don't they confuse me. Too many informations in my hand. You know, too many informations in my hand. But again, let me continue. They try to create something way advanced more than what the Italians they make, or what the Germans, you know, they contribute for make. So they create what we call the F-35, you know, and they make 4 of them planes there. So me again, you know, now this now the real foundation of the UFOs there. Even though we can talk of the 1940s or so, when they begin to get stealth aircraft there, but this now the real, you know, UFOs then, where really don't become actualized. They don't come to reality. Now yeah, the UFOs then really come to reality. They don't talk of them, they don't create them, they don't full money. But now they want to the real UFOs them. You know? Now the real UFOs then this. Starting with the F-35s. The F-35s. You know? Now let me continue. What's happened? What then creates this F-35? Russia back inside, they make their own. Russian people them, that's one of these things. Their weapons, they won't even know about here. I think say even right now the war they go to Ukraine, they use less weapons then for just full the war. For just full the war. Say we're not gonna we're not continue for misbehave. We wanna do 2 pass mark, we go show now what you get. Russia get things saying what the world don't know of. Because the American man they be so secretive, what they back be they create. So what Russia don't realize say the American man back then they back create then back create say what they call the Sukhoi or Sukhoi with the S-U-K-H-O-I Su-57s Sukhois, you know, Su-57s, and this plane here is more advanced than the F-35s what the American man create. Very well advanced, very more sophisticated than what the American man creates. You know, the American man creates the US F-35, you know, Lightning II. That's what they call it. Lightning II. You know, F-35s. Now the Russians don't create the Sukhoi Su-57, more sophisticated, more advanced than the US. You know, I'll be really they try for fend back the name, the Typhoon. Then the Germans then create what they call the Typhoon. But not forgetting that the American Man Force then start with the Blackbird, the SR-71 in the 1970s. Now let me continue. While Russia don't create this technology, the Su-57s, now let's go to investigative areas them. They don't interview but co-pilots them based on the UFOs there. What they don't really see, what they don't really hear, and what they can kind of the media, what they do the documentaries there, they lie to it. They know what they see, they know what they hear, but they lie to it. At first, what they see, like put on clear toner, now they don't test case matters them. You know, when you they create something, you test a product, you get your normal aircraft them, where they try to detect what you create. Now the American Man Force creates this here. You know, they can do test case since in the 70s or so. They do test case them for see if they're able to locate her. You know, and when they're not able to locate her, they begin to create higher, you know, radar systems then where able to capture this here. They begin to fool the masses and say, now UFOs, the concept continue for expand. Because then don't they understand and realize say nothing they will not easy for detect or trace. Then creation don't they advance. Well now Russia don't create something way more sophisticated past them. And what's happened? Lord try to make this quick. Another you know documentary, they get some documentaries that they can make, but me I can go to the intro tools. I can look for shots and I go shot still one day I get to tell I want to see Yeri. You know, and put other informations there together and try to summarize this there. One co-pilot, 2 pilots, well, this is NATO pilots them. American man planes. You know, this is American man pilots plane them, like a transporter plane. Them planes there. They call them the Hercules. They call them planes like the Hercules. Then they for transport, so Germany or utilities them. You know? So then they fly one them. Then they fly one time, you know. So they come across, them plane there. But that was the plane just appear before them or appear behind them. While them be the transport sending at the air, this plane be the middle them. But no notice her. The radar not detect this plane here. The plane they middle them very close to them. So the co-pilots, I guess, when turning it, now finally he watch, he really notice the thing. When he notice the thing, he not to say the same way I would describe the stealth aircraft here. Everything a second, because it's faster than the speed of sound or light. It don't go. It don't go. Now only these pilots are ever able to talk the truth. Out of so many pilots there, where they don't investigate. After so many pilots, and these pilots don't age so far. It don't age so far. But let me continue. So I noticed this aircraft just disappear. And what you see happen, this don't put panic. Now the American man eyes them. This don't put panic. Now the greatest military force in the world. Because them they do things for going to spy other countries them. And now Russia don't create something where they can at their own territory and they don't even notice her. They don't even notice her. And they're more advanced than their own creation. From the beginning of time, the beginning of life, I want to say, now UFOs them. Well, for continue for elaborate on things there, not to just planes and no more that they create. Then get UFO ships there also. What do they create? UFO ships them. Well, underwater and not detectable. But before I continue for elaborate on that also, how come then UFO planes are not able to detect them? Because the description what the American man give, they say the thing not get no exhaust, and not gets no engine. You need trace any metal param. And then they attributes them of UFOs them. Well, them planes say I wouldn't create, especially starting with the F-35, the United States them, F-35 Lightning II. You need to see exhaust span. The bombs them, what this plane they carry, now like snake. I'm not gonna say snake in belly they open, but I like under the belly the plane. What is plane ready for two-way bomb? The belly they open under, the bomb come out. So the way they design this plane here, they see the engine or detect the engine or detect any exhaust pipes or detect any bombs there where they armed to this plane. Everything concealed. Everything concealed. Now this is only light power now about 10 UFOs there. So then they create some things there. Russia don't create something more advanced than them. And now they don't know how to leak the secret. So now every day in the media or the news, then we'll we'll get a UFO glimpse. We'll now continue now for to watch NBC and the rest of the other one there. For another 1 year or 2 years to come, then we'll full until Una pick up and solve this puzzle. That there were no UFOs, but they now still splendid. They want to be done to create, and the secrets only come out. So the best way now for adverts this year. And now they don't even compare, or they don't even mention, say, maybe not to UFOs and oh, maybe now spy planes in the way come out from China or Russia. Now this the American man don't begin to talk. Now the media, if not allowed to lie already, now the diaspora, now they listen to everything there every day. Now this they don't begin to talk. When then UFOs are, it must be sent as spy planes there from China or Russia. Well, now on our force, we don't create them spy planes there. So now make us say, if the lights on about UFOs them or religion, what's he gonna no go lights on about? They don't make money out of them things there. They don't make serious money out of UFO, characters them, etc., etc. Because it's easy for manipulate man. Then get an invention, but they don't create this invention. They say, I'll go make money out of this invention. Now that's they do. While they brainwash now. So it's very sad. And I believe say what's in Russia don't create this a modern 5 times the speed of sound. The American man be creates the bird, you know, when they say now 3 times the speed of sound. The blackbird. I believe say this a more than 3 times the speed of sound. Whether would they think of the 5 times the speed of sound or maybe 10 times the speed of sound. Because they always study what we call gravity. They want to understand gravity. They want a flight or a plane where it becomes stilt. We get the resemblance of flies. Because flies then they able to move in any direction at any time. What flight map are you want nakan? Believe me, if not so self you want go, it'll go so. Now thing we able balance. Now make me work one warm there. Now towel or pieces now the fan. So while they knock, you know, if any direction now they want go, the pieces go get at them. So this go be about this stilts here. And I go and conclude, and so we will come back for continue on the next episode step. I don't want to expand now. I make no take a time out for the next teaching. You know, we will talk of religion again, about if evil really they exist. And this is very serious. You know, so now town our belt to brace up, and we will come back in the next 20 minutes for continue the episode here. Now, boy gets as Muslim servant, aka Bepeko.